Well, it's official now. Mike Vick will lead the Norfolk State Spartans. We need to talk about what that means for HBCU football, what that means for the sport of college football, and why I think that this can turn out to be a home run hire. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any of the segments that we upload here, instantly reacting to news, reacting to what the news is going to be, post-game analysis, all of it. We do it here 24/7, 365 on the #1 college football show. I am so excited to talk about Mike Vick leading Norfolk State because, once again, we have a star player who has decided that his third act will be coaching a college football team. I say this after watching Deion Sanders go from playing to a really interesting career as a broadcaster in doing reality TV, and then settling on being a head coach, first at Jackson State, now at Colorado, where his team is 9-3 with the Heisman Trophy winner and probably 2 first-round draft picks. We can also point to Eddie George at Tennessee State, who won the OVC and got that team to the FCS playoffs. Took a little bit more time and had to work a little bit more diligently than perhaps Prime did at Jackson State to get it done. But now we have Mike Vick in the MEAC. So now we will have representatives that have played in the NFL, including Eddie Robinson Jr. at Alabama State, didn't want to leave him out, who haven't really had that much coaching experience, if any at all, right? Prime is a little bit different, who wanted to lead HBCUs. And so far, it's worked out, right? Deion Sanders had Jackson State rolling after the spring period, and then they go win 12 games and win 12 games and win SWAC championships, make the Celebration Bowl, and he puts in place a foundation that TC Taylor could then take and win a SWAC championship with, and then Jackson State's first Black college football national championship since 1996 in a really cool win against South Carolina State, a team that beat Jackson State in Prime's second year in the Celebration Bowl. I'm also very excited about what we could see from the Tigers going forward. What John Merritt meant to Jackson State, what he meant to Tennessee State, I think that legacy is coming back. For those of y'all that don't know John Merritt, he is worth the Google. I've done a couple of segments on him. He is, I think, one of the most underappreciated coaches in the sport ever. Really. We talk about HBCU football. People really stop at Eddie Robinson, and that's not a bad place to stop, right? The National Coach of the Year award is named for that man. But when you look at what some coaches have done, including Jake Gaither, John Merritt, you can get down the line and see some outstanding contributors to coaching in this sport, mostly because they were able to do what I think Mike Vick is going to be able to do at Norfolk State. They were able to put up a fence around their area and make sure that they kept their talent. Before integration, you're talking about Jackson State, FAMU, and Tennessee State being along Prairie View A&M, being the class of HBCU football, so much so that you could see a definite turn, right? You could see how the NFL, the AFL were so interested in drafting players from HBCUs that it became apparent that this is what PWIs needed to start doing. So I believe that, integration starts in 1970. We start having black players and white players playing at blue blood schools like Texas, Alabama, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a little bit further ahead. Some are a little bit further behind. You get what I'm saying here. But in the Tidewater area, aka 757, they have been producing dudes forever. If you just take a look at some of the alumni to come out of Hampton, to come out of Norfolk, to come out of Newport News, where Mike is from, Virginia Beach, you're gonna hit hitter after hitter after hitter. Talking about Alonzo Mourning. We're talking about Allen Iverson. We keep going down the line, man. At a time when Mike Vick, for me, is the best athlete to ever come out of 757, and that's including guys like Dre Bly. Ronald Curry was the #1 recruit in the state, and Mike Vick was #2. And it ain't like Ronald Curry was some slouch. You know what I'm saying? Ronald Curry had a damn good career at Carolina, and then when he got to the NFL. But you also talk about guys like Aaron Brooks, who Mike Vick actually wanted to be. He said, hey, Coach Reamon, I just want to do what Aaron has done at Virginia. Aaron Brooks, hell of a football player, by the way. And Tommy Reamon, who was head coach at Warwick, is like, yeah, dog, I think you're going to do that. I think that's going to be all right. Matter of fact, my favorite story about this is he was going to go to Syracuse. He met with Donovan McNabb. He was supposed to succeed Donovan McNabb at Syracuse. He was ready to do it, and he was ready to commit. And then he had to call back to Syracuse and say, hey, y'all got to talk to my mom. And his mom did not want him to leave that far from home, which meant staying in the state of Virginia. Didn't get the offer to the University of Virginia, did get the offer to Virginia Tech from Frank Beamer, and everything changed almost immediately. You knew what you had. You just had to keep it in place. So he did not go to Syracuse, and he goes to Va-Tech, and he puts Va-Tech on the map in a way that we had never seen before and probably haven't seen since the age of Prime and Travis Hunter, in what he was able to do and give it a personality to the Hokies that just wasn't there. We're talking about a man who blew out 2 ACLs in the same game against Florida State. We are talking about a man who was drafted number 30 overall in the Major League Baseball draft, and he didn't really play baseball like that. He could throw a football 70 yards by flipping his wrist. Apparently couldn't throw a baseball fast 80 miles an hour. But the thing that I love about Mike is how his mom, not just important, but what she had to be taught. Every story I have about a phenomenal athlete, especially at quarterback, comes back to some story like this one. So Mike Vick's mom was told by some coworkers of hers that I have never seen someone like your son throw the football like your son. I've never seen a left-handed quarterback do what he could do. And she said, that ain't my son. It's like, how you know that's not your son? We saw your son. My son is right-handed. Apparently so. In everything but throwing a football. What? As if his left arm was only here to be a thunderbolt. Because when he flips his wrist, that ball travels so far, so fast. But the thing that separated him and Tommy Reamon, who, if y'all don't know, is a legend himself. This is a man who came up winning national championships at a junior college, goes to Missouri as a tailback, ends up playing with Terry Bradshaw and him in the Pittsburgh Steelers for getting over to Warwick as a head coach. And he said there are a couple plays he made where he's just stumping in the ground and puts his hand on the ground, makes a move, and he says, look, you do that again, it's going to be on Sundays. And that's what it was. It was on Sundays, because what Mike Vick can do when the pocket is no longer there is nothing short of miraculous. Like, we had a rule playing Madden, especially when he was on the cover for the Atlanta Falcons. If you picked Atlanta, we didn't play with you no more, because Mike Vick is a cheat code. You can do anything you want with Mike Vick in any Madden game. He was that cold. You could not do it. We wouldn't let you. The first quarterback to rush for 1,000 yards in the season, right? The limit of what Mike Vick might have been able to do was, I think, met by Lamar Jackson. Like, Lamar Jackson had to have seen Mike Vick and said, oh, it's like us watching Tiger Woods. Oh, I can hit a golf ball like that. That's okay. Cool, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to overpower the course now. And that's what these golfers do because of what Tiger was. What Tiger Woods was to golf, Mike Vick is to football. That makes him singular. That makes him unlike anybody else. And I think you can recruit with that. I think the issue is going to be who's going to be around him on the staff. I hope Tommy Reamon is involved, because that's going to give you a man that knows what he's looking for in coaching and can help you grow up as a head coach while also using your name, image, and likeness to draw in. Second thing is, you're going to be able to go into places in 757 and say, I was you. That's the thing. I've said that it's really difficult for stars to relate to regular people because the challenges that we face are not the challenges that they face, both athletically and financially. Okay? Bill Russell famously becomes a head coach of the Boston Celtics, and he's getting perturbed because his players aren't doing the job the way that he wants them to do the job. And he says, why can't you do it like me? And they said, because you're Bill friggin' Russell. That's why. That's what Mike Vick's going to have to overcome. That's what Prime was able to overcome. That's what Eddie George was able to overcome. Never mind, Eddie George won a Heisman Trophy. Never mind, Mike Vick. Oh, my God. Mike Vick changed the way that we view black quarterbacks. Like, I dead ass, man. Like, my heart is so full with Mike Vick, man. We used to wear that dude jersey to class, and we had the white, we had the black, and we had the red. You know, somebody had Prime on, we'd be like, cool, but, you know, Mike Vick beat him in a foot race. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But now, knowing that he's going to be able to give his insight and experience as an adult, having gone to prison for 21 months, having fought back to be NFL's comeback player of the year, and having worked in the media, he has so much to give, right? He's going to be able to give you little pieces of this and that, how to save your money, where to put your money, who to trust, how to trust them, where to go. I think Norfolk State is going to become a lot of people's new favorite HBCU team, if not their favorite college football team, or just support them in some way, shape, or fashion because his name is there. Shrewd hire by them. I want it to work. Give it a little bit of time. Give him a moment to get under his feet. Give him a moment to recruit just the area. I mean, golly, just the dudes he could just go get because of what they got in the water out there. ought to make them into a power pretty quickly. And Lord help you if Mike Vick is able to recruit nationwide and do what Prime was able to do, get some of these Power 4 transfers to come in. MEAC better watch his back